In the weeks following the failed insurrection attempt at the Capitol, which put both Democratic and Republican politicians in real physical danger of being hurt or even killed. This crowd was chanting, "Hang Mike Pence." I'm not a fan of Mike Pence, but I certainly don't want to see that happen. So now, not only they put in potential physical danger, but you also had people who may have infected them with COVID-19 or attempt to infect them with COVID-19. And that's not counting the politicians, the Republican politicians who refused to mask up and actually did give 3 Democratic members of the House COVID-19. All right, so that said, after all that, some Republicans tried to distance themselves from the rioters, even after kind of encouraging them. So now one of them was Representative Madison Cawthorn, who had slightly encouraged these rioters to go out and hold their politicians accountable. Well, I don't have any problem with holding politicians accountable. You're calling their office, holding a protest outside their office. All of that is 100% fine. That's democracy right there. Or even, mounting a primary challenge. That's also a great thing that I support. But that's not what these Capitol rioters were interested in doing. But that's okay, right? It's not. But as far as where I'm going with the story here and explaining what happened, Representative Madison Cawthorn, he's going to claim that, well, the rioters weren't really on our side. It was agitators. In fact, here's what he said on Charlie Kirk's show.
And then they came and said they started locking the doors to the House chamber. Said, "Hey, we're going to keep you all here. There's some people who have broke through, the first few lines of security, and they are now on the House steps, which leads directly into the Capitol building." After that point, we then had somebody come in. They told us to prepare to put on our hazmat suits and escape hoods, which because they started firing tear gas to try and disperse this crowd that had made it into the Capitol Rotunda. The beautiful, iconic image everybody knows. And then some people made it into Statuary Hall, which is literally just on the other side of the door of the House chamber. And this was a very rowdy crowd, very intent on violence, chanting that they wanted to stop the steal. But, Charlie, if it's coming from me, I believe that this was agitators strategically placed inside of this group. You can call them Antifa, you can call them people paid by the Democratic machine, but to make the Trump campaign, the Trump movement look bad, and to make this look like it was a violent outrage, when really, the battle is being fought by people like myself and other great patriots.
Oh, well, okay. So it wasn't people that were mad that the election was quote unquote stolen from them, right? I mean, because that's kind of the whole reason why a lot of them say that they were there. Because they wanted to, stop the steal, right? But no, according to Cawthorn, he says, no, they're agitators, Antifa. Now imagine being one of the so-called patriots who believe with every fiber of their being that it was their duty to go to the Capitol, right? And take it back from the commies and the socialists for Donald Trump, right? To ensure that the Republicans stand strong and vote against the certification of the fake Biden presidency of the Biden crime family. Imagine being one of those guys who's so, filled with patriotic fervor, that you would go and do that and break some windows and go into Nancy Pelosi's office and steal her mail. I know, right? We're taking back the government. Trump we trust. Trump sent us. But now you're one of those people later on, and you're getting arrested for it. Your picture is online, okay, for everyone to see. You got the government after you, and you're seeing this douchebag, Cawthorn, who, by the way, kind of encouraged you to do it, right? Along with, kind of, I say for Cawthorn because he's a bit more measured in his language, but you had like Rudy saying, trial by combat. We're going to do a trial by combat. That's what we're going to do. And guess what? We're also we need you to go down and march down Pennsylvania Avenue, okay? Yeah, we need to fight or else you're not going to have a country anymore, okay? That's the stuff that they were saying. But now you're seeing these people now call you Antifa and a paid Democrat operative. And then, again, going back to Trump, disavowing you and then saying there will be a seamless transition. It was my pleasure. I'm very proud to be your president. I was proud to be your president for 4 years. We're going to do a seamless transition of power. Well, there you go. How dumb would you feel right now? How dumb? How dumb do you feel that you got played? Like, you listened to that person and you played yourself. You weren't going to stop the steal. What steal? There was no steal. You were trying to do the steal. That's what the steal was. That's what the steal was. Okay, you got to feel stupid. Hey, people make mistakes. There's something called mob mentality, right? And that's what it was. You were part of the mob. And it's the mob mentality. Sure. But the thing is, again, if you did this, you were part of the mob. And what you did was bad. What you did was wrong. Maybe you should own up to it. And also, maybe you should realize, wait a minute. Was I influenced to do this? Yes. Yes, you were. You were influenced by politicians, by Donald Trump, who wants only to keep his own power, because that's what politicians do. And that's what people who are powerful want to do. Okay? Rudy Giuliani, who's in it for the money, okay, to go and do this thing, which would make sure, or attempt to make sure, that Donald Trump stays in power. And that's it. And your whole thing was, I'm going to go in the Capitol, I'm going to storm the Capitol, I'm going to pressure and threaten Republicans into overturning the election by not supporting the certification. And that's what happened. But Cawthorn says, oh, well, it wasn't the Patriots. No. As it was happening, no, it's not Patriots. It was Antifa. Oh, of course it was Antifa. You have any proof of that? No? Oh, how many people that are Antifa got arrested? Not really any that I can think of. But there were plenty of live streamers that are conservative. Baked Alaska is one example. Okay. That were literally live streaming their crimes on air. Them doing felonies. Can you really explain that? No, you can't. You can't, unless somehow. And here's the thing, right? There's two competing theories here that Cawthorn is putting out. Okay, is that every single so-called patriot that Cawthorn was talking to in that crowd, or almost every single patriot, quote unquote, was secret Antifa, even though there's no pink hair anywhere in that crowd. Okay, or masks, by the way. That's some really deep diving into that. Okay, well, I mean, the Antifa, making sure they don't have the pink hair. They somehow get to be real big, buff, patriot-looking guys. Okay, and they don't, and they decide, well, I mean, even though like we're totally cucked and wear masks, we're not going to do that in the Capitol. In fact, we're going to take our masks off and then live stream ourselves doing crime. Really? You think that's what happened? Instead, they're all the secret Antifers. And that since they're all secret Antifers, the real patriots were smart enough to stay home and not protest in favor of Donald Trump to stop this stealing of an election that you said was the most important election in the history of the country. But okay, wait. Okay, wait. Or, here's the other one. Your supporters are dumb enough to follow secret Antifa into the Capitol, building, like literally live streaming their own crimes inside the building. Both of those theories are not good and make you look really freaking dumb. And also, it looks like Cawthorn is throwing you both like all under the bus, as well as Trump, as well as everyone else. And they think that you're idiot sheep enough, dumb enough to do that. Hey, look, I didn't say it. Okay, he did. He said it. Wasn't me. I'm just interpreting what he said.
If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like and share with your friends. You can subscribe and help out the channel by becoming a patron. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf, or you can become a channel member as well by hitting the join button below.